Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this wonderful winter day. This is the first day for my Mustang being on the farm. So I'm gonna pull Kaibu out of the field and I get started to work with him. Because it is so cold and it's snowing, I'm not gonna be able to leave the camera up filming everything. I will try to film, like I'll put the camera up for little bits, short bits at a time so you guys can see what's going on and I'll update you. I'm on a bit of a time crunch. This poor horse has come from Utah and now they are in winter Canada, so I need to get them tamed and gentled as quickly as possible so I can get a blanket on them because their winter coat is just not suitable for what we're experiencing here in lovely Canada. And also I've got the vet coming in just a couple days, so I really need to make sure that they are ready. I want to get the vet done now. They're going to be coming with me to Florida, this horse, in a couple weeks time, so they need to get a new Coggins and a house cert. I'm going to get their teeth done. We're going to give them vaccinations for anything that they might be exposed to on the tour south. So all of that's going to get taken care of. So I've got a time crunch. We're going to get out there and see what we can accomplish today. I will be taking Boo out of the paddock first, so that way there's no distraction involved as I go to work with this new horse. So, all right, let's go take a look. So there's our little friend, Mr. Boo. Now, he was actually eating with my new Mustang at the round bale there that's in the feeder, but as soon as he saw me, he came over to the gate, so we don't actually get to see them kind of chilling with each other. So I took Mr. Boo out, and then this is me just simply standing in the pen. I don't have a stick in my hand. I don't have a rope in my hand. I'm literally just standing there. Now, what was interesting for me is that this horse really had such a flight instinct, a running instinct, that it actually runs circles like around me and is comfortable enough to run past me, because a lot of times horses, they'll kind of run to one end of the pen, and unless you're kind of making them move, they typically just stay there at one end of the pen. But you can see he's running past me and running around and running past me. So that is interesting to kind of take note of. And here's just another little clip of that as well, where he's starting to slow down, but he still very much is very worried and doesn't want to interact with me whatsoever. So this is now me. I put the phone on the post to film for you guys, and I've got my bucket with me that's got some hay in it. And so he obviously has access to hay 24/7. He's got the round bale there, and that's a grass hay, a Timothy hay mix. And then in the bucket, I have some alfalfa hay. So it's still hay, but it's a better quality, like more tasteful hay, I guess you could say. So I'm going to use that as a reward. So this is the first little bit of trying to get this horse to understand that I'm not wanting to put pressure on him. And you can see when he gets close to the camera too, you can see how skinny he is and why I'm concerned for him, even though he's got access to hay 24/7, why I want to get a blanket on him. It's really darn cold where I live, and he's probably about 100 pounds underweight. So I definitely want to get this guy gentled as soon as possible so we can get him fat. And often the horses, they don't want to eat grain or things like that right away. They don't know what they are. They don't trust us. They're not used to the taste of it. So hay and grass are kind of their best options. And obviously no grass right now to be found. So I've got my bucket of alfalfa hay. And basically what's going on now is I'm just doing a lot of standing and waiting. And when the horse kind of looks at me, I'm just kind of taking a little pressure off, trying to show the horse, like, look, if you're going to make an effort, I'm going to try to offer you little bits of reward. And right now, reward is taking pressure off. But pretty quickly, I want to change that to offering the reward of the hay. And that's because I want my horses to see me as a positive. I don't want them to think, oh no, there's that person, and the reward is me leaving the horse alone. Because if you're using pressure and release, then essentially what you're saying is that things are good when I leave you alone. And that just takes training a lot longer with untamed Mustang. Instead, I would like to start off the bat with, when you see me, I am a positive, I am a good thing. You want to be near me. So that's why we're starting with the food. Also,
if you watch the video of him getting picked up, you would see that they use flags and sticks to sort them and chase them through the various different chutes. So why you would want to start with that tool is just kind of beyond me. So I don't take anything in the ring. You can see that this horse has zero interest in trying to hurt me. It's, if anything, just scared and running away. So this is me. I moved the camera over a little bit because you couldn't really see what was going on there. But basically what I'm doing is kind of like offering a peace offering. Is I'm trying to show the horse like, look, I come over, I offer hay, and then I leave you alone. So I did that for quite a while. And then this is me filming while holding the camera. It's, I guess you could call it a hay cam as I'm like approaching him here. So what's happening is he's getting a lot of practice of me leaving him and approaching him again. So he's getting a lot more comfortable with me coming towards him. You can see he's not running around the pen anymore. He's not super confident. Every time he turns his head away like that, that's him lacking confidence. And you can see his ears to the side like that, lacking confidence. So I'm tossing hay to him, and he's starting to realize, okay, when this human comes towards me, she's not trying to hurt me. She's going to bring me something positive. So I did a lot of that in the beginning, just kind of coming up to him and bringing him, hey, here's another little look, a different hay cam view of, and you can see what I'm holding in my hand is hay, and it's kind of the more flowery bits of hay, and just kind of tossing it to him. And we don't have a super rich alfalfa bale at our farm, but we do have some alfalfa squares. And what I did is I basically kind of shook a flake a little bit, and all the little pieces that kind of fell out at the bottom, those are the ones that I was grabbing. I don't really want to give him the big, long, chewy stalks. I want to give him kind of the nicer, sweeter stuff. So that way it's a bit more like a treat for him. So you can see I'm starting to work my way a little bit closer. You can see he's getting more curious about touching. And so what we progress to is, after he realizes like I'm okay, is I start to use the word touch, and I ask him to touch. I just kind of wait for him to give me a little boop on the hay or on my hand, and then I'll toss the hay to the ground. Now here I felt like he wasn't quite ready to touch yet, so he let me get close, and he stayed looking at me square on. So I say yes, and then I toss it down. And so what I'm doing is starting to teach him that yes word as well. So I'm going to be able to use that to mark the good behaviors, and he's going to be able to understand when he's doing things that make me happy, because he's going to understand that yes word. So now this is progressing a little bit more, and you can see I'm offering him the hay again, and this is a little bit further along. Now, all said and told, I think I was out here for maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. So there you could see that was him progressing to the point where he can touch my hand, and then I put the hay on the ground for him. Still not comfortable enough to take the hay out of my hand directly. So you can see I've got a big bucket full. And all of this training, I think I did about 45 minutes, and then I went and I fed my baby, and I took Lissy out and did a couple other things, and then I came out and played with him again. And so it is a little bit trickier because I want to do all of this during daylight, because I just think trying to bring a flashlight out here and do this would be really tricky. So I fit 2 sessions in, and so we're going to hopefully get another little boop on my hand here in a second. There we go, a little touch, and so then I toss it down. So he's starting to understand that he can make those touches and it's okay. So then here's a little look a little bit further down, where you can kind of see the length of the pen and kind of what he's practicing, all of these good skills of, I walk really far away and then I come back and say hello. And every time I leave to go to the bucket and come back and over to him, then it's an opportunity for him to see a human coming towards him and for him not to freak out about it. So I decided to leave this one rolling right from when I put the phone down to film, so that way you could kind of see in real time how long it's taking me to make that kind of process up to be near him and get over there, because I do have to be careful at how quickly I go over and I approach. So this kind of lets you see in real time from when I put the phone down and then him seeing me coming all the way over, and you can see he stayed the entire time. He didn't feel the need to run away, so that's really good there. And so here offering again, and you can see every time he turns his nose to side, that's just him saying, I'm not sure, like a little bit overwhelmed. And so even though what I'm doing looks relatively simple, there's a lot of horse body language that I'm reading to know when it's okay that I progress, when I have to retreat a little bit, and what I'm doing with my body language and in terms of how I'm moving. Is it my right hand, my left hand? Where's my belly button pointing? There's actually quite a few things that I'm thinking of. So now you can see I've gotten down a lot less hay left in the bucket now. So I'm going to show you where we're at. We finally progressed to being able to actually eat out of my hand. So this is where I ended up leaving the session on day one, was him being more comfortable taking food out of my hand. And you can imagine it is a little bit awkward holding a phone camera in one hand and the food and approaching the horse in the other. Plus, I hate winter because as you're like walking towards the horse, you're like falling through the snow a little bit in places and like totally crinkly and creepy sounding. And so it's a lot harder. So anyways, I did that a couple, like more times than what I filmed on the video here. And I made sure I left it on a note. But you can see I don't have that much hay left in the bucket. So basically, I finished feeding him by hand. And then hopefully when I go out and work with him tomorrow, he'll be thinking, yeah, like there's no stress in this situation. There's no need to be worried. It's all good things happening. And so we'll work more on progressing towards touching tomorrow and introducing the halter and letting him touch and work with that. So I hope you guys found that interesting, and I would love to hear your name ideas. So put your name ideas in the comments. Make sure you let me know the meaning behind the name, and keep in mind that this guy has Spanish roots. So I'm thinking maybe he needs a Spanish name. All right, thanks for watching.